Hello, and welcome to my presentation on digital communication. So, a little about myself. I'm a junior at UCCS majoring in mechanical engineering. Some relevant projects to oral communication is that I was the robotics team president. I've been in an international flight experiment competition for the International Space Station. I've had an engineering internship, and I've conducted various school projects that required oral communication. So, first off, the robotics team. As I was president of the robotics team, I prepared lots of meetings, led team building exercises, and organized design groups. When I prepared meetings, I'd usually have to stand up at the front of the class and discuss what we were planning on doing for that meeting and our objectives for the meeting. When I led team building exercises, I was constantly collaborating with the team members of the robotics club, and constantly using communication skills to get my point across. And then lastly, I organized design groups, pretty much to teach newer members of the team about the design process of engineering. Then the International Space Station Flight Experiment Competition. This was more recent. Pretty much we did a study on the growth of Akkermansia bucinophila in microgravity. And as a mechanical engineer, this subject was very new to me and new to my entire team. A lot of us were in computer science or physics, and so more biological fields were very difficult for us. So we had to learn how to communicate and divide tasks up properly so that we could get this project done, as it was completely out of our wheelhouse. And so we did a lot of communicating ideas for the experiment. We had a lot of different concepts that we ended up stretching. And so it was a lot of team brainstorming and communicating with each other. And we also had to split up work depending on our team member strengths. So some of us were a lot better at doing research, while others were better at contacting people to get access to like labs to do more research. Then the engineering internship I did over this summer. I did a lot of reporting and communication through SolidWorks, where I would design parts through the drawing platform in SolidWorks, and then I would communicate that with my colleagues. Over on the right, that picture is a robot arm that I was working on, and so there's a lot of challenges with how we were going to get that to do a specific motion. So there's a fair amount of communication barrier, especially with different groups of the company that weren't in the automation area. And so in this internship, I reported on project progress. I communicated part designs with SolidWorks and drawings. And then I communicated viability of new machinery. And so, for example, that arm, we were trying to get a new force press. And so I researched different types of force presses that we would need. And so I had to communicate the viability of a bunch of different types of force presses to higher ups on the viability of how they would work for our desired application. And so that was very, very helpful in building communication skills in a more economical sense. So some school projects. The main school projects that required communication were in thermodynamics, mechanics of materials and machine design, and space systems engineering. And these were just various team projects where I'd have to communicate with my team members on how to break up the workload and how to kind of solve these problems that we were given. This picture on the right is from a beam design project. We were analyzing the stress in a beam. And so we all kind of divvied up different parts of that and kind of communicated amongst each other to finally solve that problem. So why is communication in engineering important? So there's three big reasons in my mind. Number one is that if you have good communication, you're able to stay on the same page with your colleagues on complex topics. Number two is you're able to maintain camaraderie. So if you're able to communicate better, you're able to understand your colleagues better, and then build camaraderie, and then therefore you're going to work in a group better. and just it's going to be a more efficient workplace. And then lastly, getting funding. So there's lots of, in engineering especially, there are lots of times where you want to do a specific project, but you don't have the funding for it yet, and so you have to convince higher ups to give you funding to do that project. And by having strong communication skills, it's super necessary to be able to tell the higher ups that this is why we need this product, and how you can kind of make their lives easier by doing it. So just having communication in that sense is very, very important for getting funding in engineering. So that is all. Thank you for watching.